Good morning, noon, afternoon, evening, and night to all. Welcome back to ATSCast. This is your neighborhood dude Jude, your host, and with me is the rest of the ATS Heartbeat as usual. So, say what's up, Abid?
What's up, everyone? It's your boy Abid, back at it again with my Pokemon mousepad this time around. Uh, Subtle flex. From Toronto, 22 years old, still unfortunately a university student. You already know how it goes. We move. Aaron?
What's up, guys? As you know, ATS Heartbeat, Aaron here. Um, for first time listeners or people that don't know, I am a university student in Malaysia, 21 years old. Ame?
What's going on, people? It's Amr here, back again as a guest. Your resident Pokey T-shirt sim next to Abid. Yeah. What's up, Jason?
Hello, viewers. I'm Jason, 22, currently in Malaysia, and thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Oh gosh, I always forget to tell the fact that I'm here in LA. But yeah, ATS Heartbeat over here, but they don't call me Jude Heartbeat. They call me Jude Hits the Beat. So
Oh
yeah,
my
just
god.
forward. But yeah, right. So Jason recently sent us a video in our private Instagram group, um, and it was a really nostalgic video, especially for those who grew up in Malaysia, which is all of us here in this podcast right now. Um, this video was the intro screen to the Golden Screen Cinemas. We referred to GSC from here on out. It had a very Tron-like feel, I don't know how to describe it, but Tron, very Tron-like, dude.
Yes, sir.
And you always watch it. You always see it before the before the movie comes out, right? And it becomes ingrained in your mind whenever you go to a GSC cinema. I mean, there are other cinemas in Malaysia, but yeah, that's just sad that we're not talking. We're gonna talk about it. Don't worry. But anyway, the topic for this week is cinemas. If my introduction is not bringing you to the precise point, um, but yeah, it's these subtle sounds and visuals that although cinemas use it as a marketing tactic, they work. No, like they get us hooked with the feelings associated with the particular moment.
That's true.
And with that, we're going to be talking about cinemas. Wait, I already said that, dude. Damn, that's crazy. Sorry, clearly I'm still thinking about Tron. Shoo! So my
I
brain is also going
I just want
shoo.
to say
But anyway,
that
my
that GSC intro is like every time I see that, I already know I'm gonna have a good time. Like I've
Same.
attached that memory to like all these good experiences that I've had at cinemas. And like the bad experience I don't think about too much. Most of the good experiences. And like whenever I see that, I'm like locked and loaded, you know? Like but yeah. That's all.
to relate to your point, Aaron, I think it's not a good time when you don't see it because that's when you know you're late
That's when I know I'm
and
at
you've missed out
TGV.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the
Banger.
TGP's food is good though. But anyway, with that, thank you for transitioning us, Aaron. What's your favorite cinema experience, dude? You said you had many.
Ooh, yes. All right. So cinemas, I guess to give a lay a bit of foundation, cinemas have had like kind of two functions for me. One is like a family outing. Me and my dad and the rest of our family, we used to do this thing where we would every 2 weeks we would make a trip to go to the cinema and watch a new movie, and we would do this without fail. And, we'd always go watch the newest movies and stuff. And it was like it was almost like a tradition per se, even though I know it sounds so common of a task. But it was like something like, oh, this new movie came out. We need to all pick a day that we can all go and watch it, and then we'd go eat dinner, and then we'd have the drive back where we talk about it, and um, that was really nice. Like it's something that I definitely undervalued at the time because it's such a common thing. But now I look back and with everyone being so busy now, with work and university and stuff like that, times like that don't come too often anymore, especially with the pandemic. And then the other function would be going to the cinema with friends, right? Having a good time, fucking around, joking, stuff like that. But I think my favorite memory would probably be going to the cinema with my family to watch like the new Transformers or the new Pirates of the Caribbean. Like it may not be like an amazing movie, but it's just the act of me going with the family, the whole system of, okay, we're gonna go buy snacks, we're gonna buy drinks, and stuff like that. So, yeah, that would be my favorite memory of going to the cinema. It would be with my family.
Cool. Yeah, that's actually a great story that you just told, because I'm sure a lot of people has felt the same and has actually also done the same things as you did, Aaron.
Yeah.
When it comes to favorite cinema experiences, you put a nail on the head there. Like, there's just too many that you can that to account for. One memory that I can literally illustrate in my brain right now is when I was watching Inside Out, which happened
Ooh.
like a few months after my mom passed away. A bit of a backstory. We were supposed to watch it together. We were making plans after she was done with chemo in the hospital and everything. But life tends to go a different route. So I watched the movie by myself, and it I I don't know how to describe it, but that experience of me watching it alone felt like I was watching it with my mom as well. So it created this incredible moment for me, like um like a visual note has been ticked off, and I can like progress in my life right now. Like, for example, like it's a massive checkpoint. Um, that's one. A pretty heavy one. Uh, for the for another example, I think it was 2 years ago where I went to Cannes for a film festival,
Yes,
and
sir.
the movie that I watched was Parasite, and it actually took three go-ins to go because there was like huge ass lines stretching for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and I only managed to go in my third try, my third attempt. And by the end of the movie, like it was my first time like experiencing a standing ovation for a film, even though the cast
Wow.
wasn't there, but everyone just had a good time, and to have so many people share the same feeling as me just brought us some sheer joy
The
as
standing
as a
ovation
movie
at
goer.
Avengers, dude. What do you mean?
Oh, actually no, I never got that during my Avengers show actually.
Avengers End Game and what's the other one?
Infinity War?
Infinity War and Endgame both got standing ovations in the Malaysian cinemas I went to.
Oh,
The
you're
Infinity
lucky
War
then.
don't deserve it.
It
Yeah.
was a good movie to watch. Like it was worth my money in my opinion. But anyway, that's a different
I
topic.
mean, yeah, but I don't know if the ending deserved the standing ovation. But yeah,
Yeah,
For
that is
Infinity
true.
War, that's kind of wild, bro.
Dude.
If everyone was like, "Yes, Spider-Man's gone, let's
No,
go."
the reason people stood up
Damn.
was because the way it ended was such a like a cliffhanger that the only thing people knew how to do was just to stand up and clap. I guess. I don't know, man. But yeah.
Interesting. Well, on a lighter note, my favorite cinema experience. Well, again, cinema experiences. There's so many. I feel like all of us echo that sentiment. For me, two come to mind instantly. One of them happens to be with Amir. I don't remember if Jude was there actually, but Amir was there for sure because he organized the entire thing. We watched Captain America: Civil War, and honestly, it was one of my favorite just because of how good the movie was. And I was there with it was my first time I think watching a movie with Amir and Zoe. And it was the first time really where I had the people I know be the jumpy idiots that I make fun of normally in a cinema in the theater. You know how people get excited. Usually I look at them and I'll make fun of them. Like I understand the excitement. I'm excited too. But I usually make fun of them. This time they were my friends, so it made it more fun for me. Um, and then the second time is where I felt like I truly felt like I was a foreigner. And that is when I first moved to Canada to Toronto. The first movie I watched, I don't remember which movie it was, but I went to the theater and we got regular seats, but they all reclined, and I was mind blown that regular seats could recline because in Malaysia and Bangladesh, that was a premium feature, man.
Dude,
You gotta pay
that's
more
the
for
same
that, dude.
feeling, man. Same
Yeah, you
feeling.
gotta pay more, right? You have to pay.
Yeah.
That's a premium. You don't get it
Yeah.
normally.
Normal seats pack you like sardines, dude. Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's pretty bad. But in this side of the world, it's normal. So I remember reclining at and my boy Steph, who was on the podcast 2 weeks ago. Haha. He was he has videotape of me literally just reclining over and over again, and like me looking like a kid who just got a new toy. So yeah, those come to mind. Jason?
For me, I've again a lot of cinema experiences. But if I were to pick a few, I haven't really watched movies with you guys. But the first one that immediately comes to my mind is Chinese New Year movies with my family. Um, that's definitely something. It's kind of like a tradition. Whenever a new Chinese movie, uh, New Year movie comes out, we'll go and see it during the second or third day of Chinese New Year. Um, then secondly, it comes with the end game experience. I actually didn't think of that actually. When the portals were opened and everyone was just yelling at the
Well,
theater.
bro, spoiler, bro, spoiler. Well.
Everyone yelled at the theater, and it felt like I was watching a football match. It was crazy. And when Spider-Man came back, I was like yelling like way too much.
Yo, Jason was like, "Yo,
Hey,
Spider-Man, my G."
yeah, facts.
Spoilers, bro.
Also, if you haven't watched Endgame, that's just on you at this point.
Yeah, that's just on you, man. I don't care.
I
If
mean,
it's
I don't think
My bad.
if they haven't watched it, I'm pretty sure they would know by now. But if you haven't, dude, I'm sorry. Not because we spoiled it, but I'm sorry that you didn't watch it, dude. That's a
Whoa.
that sounds like a self problem. I hope you fix
Yeah.
That sounds like a
But,
you problem.
Yeah,
but
Jeez.
it
sorry,
is the
Jason.
highest earning movie of all time, by the way. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, my favorite would be last year actually. Was it last year or 2 years ago in 2019 January? That was the last time I've ever been to a theater. When I was watching uh Weathering with You by myself.
Wow.
Um, it was it was like it was a really weird experience, but at the same time, I really um enjoyed it because no one really wanted to see the movie with me because none of them were interested at the
Mhm.
to see with me then, and um, it was great because like I went there and I met I met some fellow weeps and it was great. They were sharing the same sentiments and they were equally as excited. And it was a great experience overall. So it was my first time ever doing that at a cinema. So yeah, it's great.
Wait,
No.
Amir, didn't we watch Weathering with You with Jude, Ben, and Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
precisely.
Hey, good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Honestly,
Good
so
times.
good.
I mean, I share the sentimental feeling with you. You know, like I can't really choose between three my favorite experiences. The first one is here in Westwood. They have like a monthly showing, well, not in the pandemic, but they used to have a monthly showing of The Room. The Room, which is considered one of the worst films ever made, but it's been turned into this tradition where like whenever that movie is played monthly, like the audience would interact with the scenes. It was a really unique experience. The second one has to be Avengers End Game, like a lot of y'all. Primarily because the director was there in Westwood Theatre. Um, and when the crowd interacted, we all interacted towards the guy. So there was a target, like people were standing up, but they were standing towards the cinema, towards the screen. They were standing towards the guy. They're clapping for him. It was like, yeah, pretty surreal. And I think that transitions well into like the next question. But before I add on that, my third experience is also really, really sentimental, a very melancholic kind of experience. Um, yeah, I watched Totoro with a certain someone. Yeah,
Damn.
literally in one of those premium theaters. I think it shares the same sentiment I had with Abid, where like not only were the seats reclining, but there was a menu right beside you, so you could order whenever you want, dude. Like the cinema was was not packed. Like there were only like what 8 of us in the cinema, and we had waiters, dude. It was like, yo, what is this life, dude? And
Yeah,
we were watching
I know what you're
Totoro.
talking about. They have some of that in Texas as well, where it's like you can
Yeah,
they serve you
did, dude. I ordered,
food.
I ordered, yeah, I ordered popcorn popsicle, dude. What a time, dude. Down that's a popcorn popsicle. But yeah, um, all three were good, and I think, as I said, that transitions well into our next question, because that is one of the few things I miss the most about cinemas. If we go back to my second point, my second experience, the the feeling of being with other people and sharing the same emotion, really subtle when you're frequently watching frequently watching films, but as time passes and you don't watch a cinema movie with someone else, when you're alone, basically, like that feeling kind of becomes more cherishable in a sense. Yeah. What about y'all? What do you miss most about cinemas?
Man, what do I miss the most about cinemas, dude? To be honest, it was like the easiest outing, right? It was the easiest way to get uh your friends and go and do something.
Easiest way to get a date kick W. Sorry. No.
Okay, aside from Jude's thirsty ass speaking up like that,
Wait.
for
Putting
me
on
it was.
the sad boys
I
facts,
mean,
but yeah, sorry.
yeah, no, I mean it was just an easy way to. It's an easy thing to do, right? Just have your friend like text your friends or whatever and be like, "Yo, let's go watch this movie." It was like the easiest and most convenient outing, I'd say. Um, I would say that convenience factor is probably what I miss the most because even if everyone else has different or everyone has different interests, at the end of the day, everyone enjoys movies. Um, it's just a good time to get together. One thing I don't miss is paying like $20 for fucking popcorn. Though I will say that, dude, it's a rip off.
Seconded.
Especially,
I don't know what popcorn you've
especially
been paying, dude.
how much is popcorn in the U.S., dude? I'm sorry, bro.
Popcorn in the US
I
is
don't know what
pricey too,
popcorn
no?
you
What
dare
do you
to
mean
say.
it's not $20?
Wait, not dating, eating. Yes.
Popcorn in
Yeah,
the US is
it's
expensive too.
yeah.
I mean, if you don't
It's
convert
$20
it,
here. It's $20 here too
It's like
for
20 bucks.
Wait,
AMC.
what? It's still
What?
$20. What?
Yeah, it's still 20 USD, dude. In
Wait, that's
AMC.
even more
I know.
than what I paid.
Wait,
But then
no.
again, I order like I try to order not the caramel popcorn, like
Wait,
not the
Jason, how
regular
much do you pay? What?
you pay. Yeah,
I
that's
I pay $5.
wait.
The
What?
fuck type of what?
No, I mean it's rural Virginia, I think so.
It's yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
Is
okay,
that
I don't
large
mean
or
suburban
Oh,
Virginia, right? Like
sorry, la, bro.
but yeah. Oh
Alright.
man, that's
Wish I
expensive for
lived.
popcorn.
it
Wish I
is
lived
expensive,
in
dude.
rural, as you'd put it.
Sorry, maybe suburban,
Maybe
Sorry, I
not
suburban.
didn't live
rural,
in
dude,
a.
but southern,
Sorry, I
I
don't live
guess.
in the village, dude.
Yes,
No,
Amir.
no, no. That was not my
No,
intention.
Agree
But
but
with
yes,
you.
but okay, I will say, Jason, you're the clear anomaly here, because the other three of us who have been in North America are agreeing that it's overpriced. But anyway, back to the topic. I do miss going with my friends and just hanging out with my friends. Yeah.
Damn, tested positive for missing the homies.
Facts.
yeah. Go on.
Aaron, go on. Or
I
Jason,
miss you
sorry.
too. I also miss
Jason,
you.
go.
What was the question again?
What do you miss? I literally said I miss you too. What do you miss? I
Oh, okay. So I'm so sorry.
literally gave you.
Because I cut it cut out for me.
Okay.
Sorry. Uh, I don't know. I think every time when I go to the cinemas, it's just like experience, like that intro video from GSC. It's like I don't know. I get excited, like as Aaron said. I feel ready and I want to watch the movie. And the feeling of being, sometimes the experience you're paying for is he first introduced the D-Box thing, the whole like 4D experience. That was really, really fun, and I always and it was only it was really fun. I always used to um, go and watch the that experience with my mom and sometimes with my friends. But yeah, it's overall the experience that you can't find at home. Such a wide screen and the sound experience. So yeah.
Fair enough. What do I miss most about cinemas, huh? I gotta say that just impromptu going to the cinema has to be one of them. Like, probably all my friends that I know of go to cinemas and like watching movies, so that's a huge plus for me. And also just impromptu meeting people in cinemas as well, like just inconspicuously just meeting friends over there and just saying hi. It's just I don't know. I don't think it can happen anywhere else where it's much more a much more friendly situation. I'd say. Uh, s- yeah, that's pretty much it.
Mm. I don't know. I've tried to replicate like the not really you can't really replicate a cinema experience, but I've tried to replicate as close as possible like the movie experience at home. With getting popcorn, closing the curtains, trying to put on the living room TV, and watching movies. But it's just not the same for me, and I think a big part of it was, like what you guys have been saying, um, and what Jason said earlier as well. When you go to a cinema, it's like there's a certain level, not only of expectation, but there's a certain mood you're in, and there's a certain kind of vibe when you sit in a cinema, and there's a certain level of focus as well. Like if I'm at home, I'm looking at my phone. Parts of the movie where it may not be as interesting, I'm not as focused. I'm a lot more distracted. When I'm in the cinema, the movie can be shit, but I'm focusing on the movie, no matter what. And I'm focusing on the movie, and I have my popcorn, and then I'll look at the screen for 2 hours, and then I'll leave when it's over. And I feel like, as much as that sounds weird, like, because of course if the movie's bad, then you're wasting your time focusing on nothing. Even if the movie is bad, I don't feel like I've wasted my time, unless it's a terrible movie like Wonder Woman, the recent Wonder Woman. But if the movie is like, if the movie is at least above average, then the fact that I focused on it and I was there for the whole movie already kind of makes it feel worth it to me. Also because I'm spending money. But yeah, I think what I miss the most is the whole ambience, the physical setting itself, rather than anything else. But yeah,
Can't believe you watch Wonder Woman. To be fair.
I watched it on HBO
Bro, that's
Max.
crazy.
A waste of time. Waste of time.
I like how we were talking about Wonder Woman. I mean, did it was the recent Wonder Woman released on a streaming service?
Yeah,
Yes,
it,
sir.
Yeah,
it
right.
it was good.
was it was supposed to release on in cinemas in Malaysia as well.
Cinemas, yeah.
But because for those that don't know, Malaysia is currently having a bit of a lockdown. So because the lockdown got extended, the cinemas couldn't preview it. But they had already planned to release it on streaming services beforehand, which is why a lot of people did watch it. But it was a terrible movie in my opinion. But yes.
Oh, right.
Really?
I hated the movie.
I mean,
I've never watched the worst movie in my life. Yes.
wow.
Damn.
You say it's a really bad movie. Jason says it was a decent movie, but
I say it's decent. It's not like the worst, but like I'll give it
we'll,
like average rating. Yeah.
it actually gives us a good
Alright.
gives us a good question to work with. Do you think the experience would have been different if you were in a cinema versus a home? And I don't think this is specific to Wonder Woman. In general, does watching from a streaming service make the experience more uh, engaging, more interactive because you're at your home, or does it is it something that you try not to do?
With this
I know right
movie
now
particularly?
it's not as you don't have the choice
Yeah.
because everything's being released on Disney Plus and there's nothing on cinemas. But if you had a choice, let's say in 5 years, and let me please not jinx that, but yes, say in 5 years we have the choice to choose between cinemas and streaming services, what would you go for?
I mean, to go on your earlier question, if I would have preferred to watch, if watching it in this movie particularly in the cinema would be better, I think it depends on how bad the movie or how good the movie is. Because if you go to a cinema to watch a terrible movie, you're gonna feel like shit because it's like, bruh, I came all the way to the cinema, especially if you go all the way just to like watch that movie. Like I went all the way to the cinema, I drove here to watch a 2 hour movie. You know, maybe, you know, if you're packed like sardines in Malaysian cinemas, it's like you go all the way here just to watch a terrible movie. It's like a waste of time. And if you watch it at home, it's still a waste of time, but it's less of a waste of time because maybe once you figure out it's a bad movie, you can turn it off, right? Cinema, you've paid for that too, so. But would I rather? But then when you come to the point where would you rather watch movies at home in cinemas in the future in 5 years if we have that choice? I would never take away cinemas. Cinemas have their own function and it cannot be replicated unless you have a theater room in your house. Like there's no way to replicate cinemas, in my opinion, unless you have that kind of funds or like a location like that.
Like a home theater.
Yeah,
huh?
if you have a
Cinema.
home theater, I don't see a reason for you to go to cinemas, to be honest, unless you're meeting people that you don't want to invite to your house, because home theaters are just cool as hell. But there's no way for me to replicate a family outing where I go to dinner, go meet, hang with the fam, realize the movies in 5 minutes, run to the movie theater. Like that's all the part of the experience. It's not really the movie itself. It's everything that leads up to it and everything that's after it as well. So I don't think I would trade that for anything.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I agree with Aaron on most of what he said, to be honest. I echo it. For me, it's always been the after of going to a cinema that really makes me want to go back to it again, essentially. I remember when I watched a bunch of the Marvel movies. I don't even remember which ones I watched with my friends here in Canada. I still cherish the moments we had after watching the movie, and we discuss and theory craft and talk about what could happen next in the series or in the universe, what have you. Talk about Easter eggs that maybe someone spotted, critiquing the movie, talking about who performed well, who didn't, what could have been done. Like that entire like the 25 minutes it took for us to get home on the bus and our discussions on the bus and kind of pissing off the bus driver in the sense because we're the only loud ones in the very back. Like moments like those are hard to recreate, and I think it was mostly why I went to the cinema. Again, if you have a home theater setup, even then I feel like again the problems that Aaron brought up before about you're gonna look on your phone, you're gonna do something else. There's just this sense of comfort in a sense, which is good, but there's this sense of comfort and need to not focus or pay attention as much. Whereas in the cinema, you're there, you like if you whip out your phone, you kind of feel like an asshole, and if you don't feel like that way, you're the problem. But you're the problem in the world.
Did you bring this monologue just to call out people that bring out their phones?
Pretty much. Fuck you, people, all of you. But also, yeah. I mean, I pretty much just echo what Aaron said. Home experiences are way more casual, I feel, and if you're going to the cinema, it's more of a, I'm at the cinema for a clear task. Amir?
When it comes to this topic, there's always its pros and cons. When it comes to streaming channels or streaming devices, like access is probably the most easiest thing to obtain from it. You get films where you won't get any in any other place, I'd say. Like I can say that a pro for streaming is that you get to watch more international films than you're previously accustomed to. Like it's literally at the palm of your fingertips, and you get to get to find this wide world of films that you've never been accustomed to. But there's also this besieging argument that is taking away from the theater experience or the cinema experience per se, and it plays a part in degrading experience, just as what Abid said. Um, to me, the, before this, it wasn't a big problem for in this topic about cinemas and home experiences, because when it comes to on-demand movies, you normally tend to go to the cinemas because they're available there at first, and then if you want to watch a rerun, you can just go to the streaming service few months later, and then just hop onto that. Nowadays, with like what Aaron mentioned about Wonder Woman streaming on HBO Max, movies are now are trending towards streaming on the release date itself. So it really is like uh this is devil's advocate. Like, you don't want to watch a bad movie in a cinema where you take the time and you take maybe other people's time away as well to watch a bad movie. So you'd rather watch it at home or at the comfort of your friend's house. When, of everything being said, like, m- with more options, it begets more problems as well. Even though it's usually supposed to be a solution for some things, which it is. But like Aaron said, there's nothing that can replace what a cinema brings to the table, whereby at home you just can find a reasonable amount of distractions that can distract you from the experience that you're supposed to enjoy. What do you
Mhm.
feel, Jason? What's your sentiment about it?
Uh, it's always about the convenience. But for me personally, I think it's movies are leaning towards the streaming services like Netflix. Like Netflix is putting out Netflix exclusive movies that's only available on their platform, and you wish you could recreate that experience on the theater. I wish I could, but I feel that um, it's always the cinema experience that is better for me. Not this, even though if you recreate it with like a great home system, home theater like systems or whatnot, it's really the experience of watching it in the theaters. Like for me, like one of my favorite movies would be La La Land. Or quite possibly my favorite movie of all time would be La La Land. And
Yes, sir.
seeing the musical, the soundtrack, and the cinematography, and into that movie without any expectations and only to be like overwhelmed, and it blew away my expectations after the movie. And that's where Abed's sentiment comes in, is as to like I want to go back to experiencing that again. So but for me it's always depending on the movie, but generally I would prefer the cinema experience all the way.
Uh-huh. I mean, that's one of the few things, that's one of the many few things that it's really difficult to replicate, um, compared with, watching a streaming service back at home. One thing that is really difficult to replicate, that I like still strongly feel right to this day, even though, it sounds really trivial in a sense, is that cinema food hits you different, especially the I mean, I know we've been shit talking on TGV, but like TGV KLCC and their nachos, damn, that's crazy.
TGV has
Yo, the
good hot dogs too. They have good
yeah,
hot
and their
dogs.
hot dogs, like, it sets them apart, dude. They're not even a restaurant, but like they give you such an interesting choice of food when you're watching a movie, that like whenever you go there consistently, like it becomes ingrained in you when you watch a movie, no? With that regard, like, what do you guys think about cinema food? Because it is a big thing in Malaysia and in America as well.
Ooh, cinema food.
Dude, like, I mean, sorry, Aaron,
No,
you can go, but I'm gonna just
yeah,
say
go for it.
again, it's overpriced as hell. That's
Hey man,
pretty
Malaysia
much my
was
take,
not
dude.
as bad. I think popcorn
Hey,
is the one thing.
wait, Malaysia now is, it didn't used to be.
Yeah, it didn't
Before
used
it
to be
was
that
like,
bad.
okay.
Really?
Now it's pretty fucking bad, dude.
Oh
Like,
dear.
20 ringgit for, like, like a small popcorn or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck?
I
Oh
mean,
dear.
That's,
as compared to like Western cinema food, I guess like they would see it as not as bad for sure. But
That's
as
true.
as a Malaysian,
Yeah, for
we're
sure.
so stingy, right? We're so used to getting things cheap. When we see cinema
not even,
food,
yeah.
yeah,
Sorry,
not really stingy. You're right, but like we're so used to getting things at a certain price that when we start having to pay like 20 ringgit for like a set, a popcorn set, it's just like what? We're still gonna pay anyway because it's cinema food, right? But
Yeah, you're going to. It's kind of monopolized in that
yeah.
sense.
Um,
I just want to say one more thing that to give context to people. TGV and GSC are probably the biggest cinema companies, quote unquote, right? They're the
mm,
they're the two main providers for movies and stuff in Malaysia, much like your AMC and your Cineplex in Canada, where they have monopolies, which is crazy. But dude, cinema food is good in Malaysia especially. I remember like all the stuff you get, all the junk. It tastes so good. It is overpriced, and the most unfortunate part is they can kind of monopolize it in the sense that you can't literally take anything from outside. Like even I know they're sometimes strict about water. Even I'm like, what the fuck? That's kind of crazy, man. So yeah.
The crazy part is okay. I don't know if I should be saying this caught in 4K, but when I used to go to TGV, with as a family outing, what we would do as a tradition was, my sister would always bring like a bag, right? So we would call that the smuggle bag, and we would always go to like I think Pavilion is Makato, right? I don't know if it changed. Oh, no, TGV was KLCC, so we would go to the cold storage, or if we went to GSC, we'll go to the Makato in Pavilion, which is the grocery store.
The grocery store, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we would buy a bunch of like chocolates and like whatever we wanted, and we'd put it into
Bro,
a bag.
same.
We'd put it into what like all of her bag, and like we'd buy like Hello Panda, Pocky, whatever under the sun that we wanted to eat, and I kid you not, anything you eat in the cinema tastes better. Like I don't even be fucking with Pocky that much right back then, but like when I'm eating it in the cinema, I'm like, dude, this is the best thing I've ever had in my life. And the same thing goes for those hot dogs. If the restaurant served me that hot dog, I'd be like, what the hell is this shit?
Bro, you'd be pissed off, bro.
Yeah,
You'd be like,
dude,
what is
like,
this?
And, dude, like my dog could put a bun and put
Bro,
this
Paid
pre-cooked
8
sausage.
ringgit for this shit, dude.
Yeah,
What?
but when you eat it in the cinema, dude, it tastes so good. Like it tastes like I don't know what I'm eating. It's so good. I probably don't actually know what I'm eating, but it's so good.
True.
And like, I don't know if it's just the fact that like you're in the cinema, you're someone's holding popcorn, someone's holding a hot dog. You're taking popcorn from your right, you're taking a hot dog from your left. It's like that whole experience just makes the food really good in my opinion. I don't really know how to explain further than that, but yeah, cinema food is it's fun. It's a good experience.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that my version of cinema food has changed over years since I went to America. Where my favorite food is bloody water. It's too expensive there. I can't
Facts.
take it. I
Wait,
can't take it.
What is that? What is
Water.
Oh, water. I thought it was like you
Yeah,
said bloody
dude.
water. I was like bloody. What?
Bloody.
My bad.
I was like, where you buy that though?
Yo, man spiking his water with some other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, no
So
wonder they don't let that in, dude. Fuck.
Oh my god. So Jason, you want to chime in and tell me what makes American cinema food much more redeeming than what I've experienced? Go ahead.
Actually, no. I just want to add that caramel popcorn over butter popcorn. That's it.
Factual.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Wait,
Of course, dude. I mean, I prefer cheese popcorn over everything else, but yes, caramel popcorn is clearly the superior.
any guys. Do you guys have butter dispensers at your
Yeah.
any?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, we have the fake butter dispenser, whatever it is. Like,
That ain't real butter. Yeah, let's be real.
no, cause dude, when I first moved here, when I got my bag, right, they were like, "Do you want butter in that?" I'm like, "Don't you have a dispenser over there that's free?" They're like, "Oh no, that's not actual butter. You want actual butter?" I'm like, "Then what the fuck are you putting in there, dude?"
Oil, dude.
Are you
What
for
do you mean?
real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want actual butter, they put it from behind the counter. Like they
Wait,
put it in your
wait,
popcorn when they put
So
it in the
what's
bag.
the butter in the dispenser?
It's like margarine something.
Yeah.
Oh,
We blend.
Dude.
yeah, it's very liquidy.
It's like a weird oil blend.
Okay, I know this is really stereotypical of Texas. Oh, for you guys don't know, my dad is from Texas, and I've been there a couple
Yeah,
times. Yeah, yeehaw more so. But yeah. So when I went to Texas, yeehaw. Last time I went to Texas, I watched the Star Wars, the latest. Was it Rogue One?
My God.
No.
Rogue One was banging.
No. It was the first
The-
Star Wars of
The
the
Force Awakens. The Force
The
Awakens.
Force Awakens. Yeah, so I went to watch that at a cinema in Texas, and you know how they say everything's bigger in Texas, right? So I got this large popcorn, and the bucket is bigger than I'd say two people's heads combined. And
Dude, I believe that.
yeah, it was massive. Like it cost a ton, but it was big too.
Yeah.
And I saw this dispenser, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And they said it's a butter dispenser, and I was like, "What?" So I put so much butter in my butter dispenser, from the butter dispenser in my popcorn, that it started leaking through the bottom, dude. And I was like, "Wait a minute!" And I ate it, and I was like, "This is so good, but it's so bad at the same time." Because it's not butter. You taste it and you know it's not butter.
Dude, when I was in Houston, like they were selling beef briskets, meat fries. Yo, everything
Oh
was
my God,
huge
dude.
portions. It was literally a meal.
Dude, that sounds so good though.
I mean, yeah, in a regular session, dude, I think movies is one of the few things that we as a group used to do, and food. So that's a good, it's a good, duality in a sense. But yeah, with regards to that, another thing that I mean, not everyone in this group, I guess, but particularly me and Amir, we love talking about random stuff, and I think one of the random stuff that we talked about, I'd like to pose as the question of the week, because the question of the week is, what currency design is your favorite? And there are a million currencies out there. It's an actually really interesting question because I'm pretty sure you've seen currencies from around the world, right? You don't have to own one to know how one looks.
Yo, I mean, I know my answer already. Yo, you always ask these questions, and everyone's probably like, "How interesting." I'm just like, "Yes, I'm ready." Teacher, me, pick me,
Yeah.
teacher. For
Credit
me,
to
it's Canadian.
Big boss.
Yeah, for me, it's the Canadian Bills, dude. The
Oh.
maple leaf smell. I mean, the maple smell, the maple syrup smell, hard to beat, dude. Hard to beat. I've seen so many currencies over my lifetime because of how much my dad normally travels. He travels a lot, so he'd always come back and give me or show me different currencies that he's gone around with. But after getting the Canadian currency and people were like, "Yo, smell it," I'm just like, "Oh shit."
You know.
It's like, "Oh shit."
Massive shout out actually when he told us that, and I had a Canadian note in my wallet. I actually smelled it, and I was like mind blown by that fact.
Bro, it's crazy actually. But yeah, go.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
onwards to the question. Yeah. Special mention is to Taiwan. Country number
The
one.
dollar. Taiwanese. Is it the NT? Is it NT dollar? NT dollar? Is that what they call it? The new Taiwanese dollar?
I have no idea. I just know there's like boba
Yes.
and all that shit.
I know because that's
Banger.
the last place I've been to before I came back to America. So it's my stopover. For me, it's the Swiss franc, dude. Swiss franc? Franc? Yeah.
I thought you
It's
were gonna say
vertical.
that.
It's vertical. It's pretty cool. But yeah. Jason and Aaron just like, I'm poor, I have no money.
Oh, am I next?
Yeah, go Jason.
just shout out, dude.
Man.
Just say $1, man.
Did you say
Yeah,
Malaysia?
I mean, nothing beats the a new Benjamin Franklin. Am I right?
True.
True.
Okay.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah,
funny you asked this because when I was younger, I had like those things that hold all the currencies, like a note holder, and I used to collect currencies because my parents used to travel a lot. I would either say between the Maldivian dollar, or have you guys seen the Fijian
That's a
currency
good
note?
shot.
Have you guys seen the Fijian?
I have.
currency? It's so beautiful, dude. Like,
It is facts.
yeah,
Dynamite.
it's almost like I don't know. Currency is like there's art on the currency, and the Fijian currency there's really pretty art on it, and it's very local. It's very nice.
The art is just
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Fijian currency.
The Maldivian and Fiji, yeah, both of them did. The artwork is really
They're both really pretty.
very nice. Yeah.
All right. Cool designs, I guess. And with that, we will head to our song of the week. I nearly ended the podcast. I was like, damn, wait, hold up.
Hold up.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
It's been a very nostalgic ride, huh?
Thank you, Abid. Speaking of listening, it's time for our song of the week. So, Lau, why don't you lead it up, Abid, as usual?
Got you. Malaysian group band. They're called Tidal. Song is called Do I. Really good song.
Sheesh. I would say Vic Mensa, Shelter.
Yes, sir.
Boys recommended this to me in the chat. It's 5. Listen to it. Amir, you got your song?
Is everyone listening?
Oops, my bad. I had a feeling that Jason was gonna go for some reason. My song is B.O.B. Bombs Over Baghdad by Outkast, classic.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Oh,
That is a classic, dude.
Alright, yeah. Mine would be Chosen, featuring Ty Dolla $ign and Tyga by Blast. If that's how you pronounce his name. It's R&B tune banger. I've been fucking with.
Jason pulling a staff for this week.
I'll be fucking with. Yo, I felt that.
Yo. Anyway, for me, it has to be Changha, Bicycle, her latest comeback. Get on my way. Yeah.
You like it when I write it. You like it when I write it. Yeah.
Hey.
Anyway, that's a wrap. I'm trying to deviate from that, but that's a wrap, boys, and viewers, and everyone out there. Thank you all for listening again to another episode of ATSCast. Hope you like this one. Bye, everyone. Before we say bye, is Jason still here?
It doesn't matter. Jason, hit him with the beat. Hit him with the mute. Jason, hit him with the outro.
Hit him with the
Hit that.
mute.